How are you doing? Here we're going to be talking about linking value to customers. There's a second tool that's extremely important that is much longer to utilize, and that's why within this masterclass we won't really focus on that, but that we will talk within this session is the customer journey map. But just to summarize first, what we want to do within this particular session is explore how tailoring your offerings to meet your customers' emotional and practical needs can be helpful, discovering how to create impactful messages for different customer segments, and also using empathy maps to gain deeper insights into your customers' motivations, challenges, and goals. Now, why does aligning values matter? You want to make sure that a customer that sees you believes that you have values similar to them, so that they can trust you and so that they can go in your direction. Now, you're not trying to trick the customer, but you're trying to make sure that your values are extremely clear so that the appropriate customer can then identify with those values and then find you or follow you or try to get your product or service to then better their own life. Aligning values helps build trust and relevance within your audience. It helps create messaging that resonates emotionally and practically with your audience. It also helps drive better engagement and conversions so that people know exactly who you are, trust you, and are ready to follow you and listen to you. That means at some level, you have to tailor your message so that it fits your purpose, that it fits your use. You need to make sure your messaging is customized for your specific customer segment or profile. You want to focus on what matters most to them. For example, are they most interested in saving time? Are they most interested in convenience? Are they most interested in results? Is it a blend of those three things? What's the most important? That's one of the reasons why we've been going through the value proposition canvas and why next we also talked about your customer avatar. So as a quick example, maybe what you're trying to create is a fitness app, but just not any fitness app, a fitness app for business, for busy professionals. So your customer profile might be professionals who struggle to fit exercise into their schedules. And so your value proposition to appeal to those customers might be to say that your application saves time with 10-minute workouts so that they don't feel like they have to go and spend an hour or two at the gym. They can stay within their house, find a corner, take 10 minutes, finish their workout, and then move on to something else. Like I usually say, 5 minutes or 10 minutes of workout a day is better than 0 minutes a week. You need to understand your customers at a deeper level, and that means you need to explore what they think and feel, what they see, hear, and say on a general basis, and what their pains and gains are. You probably feel it by now. The theme is always going back to this since our very first day. You need to make sure you know what your customer wants, and you need to make sure the direction in which your customer wants to go, so you can help them in that direction. You can also use various insights using various tools to craft value-aligned messaging. One of the tools you can use is the customer journey map. We won't go into it in much detail, but really quickly, it's broken down into a couple different sections where what you're trying to do here is determine the various stages that a customer goes through when he finds out about your business. So there might be an awareness stage. So up there on the left at the top, so we have an awareness stage and then a consideration stage. After awareness, there is consideration. There might be a purchase stage, a delivery stage, a service stage, a retention stage, and also an advocacy stage. Within those, there are some details here that you can read through. It's going to give you a general idea of what exactly each of those stage really means. And so you are going to be getting this as part of the package you get at the end of the course. And so you'll be able to read through it, go through it in more detail. Like I said earlier, unfortunately, we don't necessarily have the time to go through this, but on your own time, you should be able to. And later on, if you want to get in contact contact with us too for some individual sessions, we can also do that. You also try and go through some of the pain points and friction areas that your customers may suffer, some of the opportunities you may want to grab, metrics and KPIs that are necessary to track to ensure that your customers are happy. We'll talk about progress monitoring, feedback integration. So when your customer tells you they don't like one portion or one aspect of your product, how do you integrate that back and then make sure that in the end you're able to make those changes? And also, how are you able to actually get the feedback from the customers? And then finally, there's a portion where you can talk a bit about competitive benchmarking, comparing your customer journey to those of your competitors to identify where you could make things actually better. So some of the key takeaways for effective alignments. First, you need to be specific. The more detailed your customer profile, the easier it is to align messages and offerings to your target market. You need to focus on needs. In every case, try and keep it as practical as possible. Address both emotional and practical needs for deeper connection with your potential clients. You need to iterate. So you need to continually refine your value propositions and messaging based on feedback that you get from your customers. In business, it's extremely important to be proactive and to make sure that when new information comes in, you adapt to that new information and you integrate it within your business in an efficient manner. So try to start aligning your value propositions today. Go back to them. You've already worked on them since yesterday. So go back to them, reread through, try and see if you could start working on a customer journey map. And then tomorrow, tell us if anything interesting came out of that, and also ask any questions on that also if you have any that come up. And then of course tomorrow is going to be our final day. Like as I said earlier, we may also have multiple upcoming workshops that could help you refine your value propositions further. So join us for those, and if ever you're interested in individual sessions, also can get in contact with us. Thanks again, and see you in a couple minutes.